Hello my dear viewers, welcome back. In this video we are going to study the notes of the acts in the Wood poem, question answers and summary. If you want the notes of other lessons, kindly check the playlist of my channel. First main, answer the following questions and share your responses with your partner. Question number 1. What words in stanza 1 and 2 mean 100 years? Answer, centuries. Question number 2. Make a list of all the words that are used in the poem to describe the axe. Answer. Axe is described as a quick axe, sharp axe, glittering axe and bright axe. Question number 3. Read the following words. Small, strong, weak, dry trunk, axe, wood, timber, tree. Which word does not fit into the first above? Answer. Timber is the word that does not fit in the above list. Next main, answer the following questions, picking up the most appropriate ones from those given in the brackets. Question number 1. What did the man strike the tree with? Answer. Axe. Who was watching the sight of the man cutting the tree? Answer. People. What did the tree look like? Answer. Strong. Read and write. Read and discuss your responses with your partner. Then write. Question number 1. Who do I refers in this poem? Answer. In the poem, I refers to the poet Clifford Henry Diamond. Why do you think the poet stopped? Answer. The poet stopped to watch a man striking at the trunk of a tree with an axe. Which line tells us that the tree is aged? Answer. How old the tree was and how dangerous this line tells us that the tree is aged. Does the poem mean that cutting a tree is a huge loss for human being? Which line supports your answer? Answer. Yes, it is a heavy loss for human beings. This is understood by the lines cut down 1,000 men. Do you think the poet wrote this poem while the tree was being cut? Support your answer picking up the relevant lines from the poem. Answer. No, the poet did not write the poem while the tree was being cut. The 5th and 6th lines revealed this fact, and I remember how I liked the sight of poise and rhythm as bright axe swung. Do you think the poet has made his intention clear to the reader at the end? Which lines support your answer? Answer. The poet has made his intentions clear in the end. The last 2 lines of the poem support the answer. But I saw death cut down 1,000 men in that tall, lovely legacy of wood. What message does the poem give us? Answer. The poem gives us the message that people have many reasons to cut trees. It might fall as it was very old, but it has more good in them than a growing tree. The poet compares the death of the tree is equal to the death of 1,000 men. What do you learn about the trees from this poem? Answer. The trees takes many years to grow strong. When it was old, men fells the tree and its timber is of more value. After the death also the tree is useful as a timber. But I saw death cut down 1,000 men. Explain what does the poet mean by lovely legacy of the wood? Answer. Death here means the feeling, the killing of a fine tree. Such a destructive act destroys the happiness of many people, 1,000 men, who sought shade and shelter under it, who found happiness in listening to the chirping of birds the tree housed, who found protection of the environment offered by the tree and other trees. The tree that was being cut was planted long time ago and it had grown strong through the centuries. Thus, for the present generation, this strong and lovely tree with its precious wood has become a lovely legacy or inheritance. It was a gift from the past to be enjoyed by all generations, the present and to come. A sonnet is a poem of 14 lines. Usually a sonnet has a rhyme scheme. Is this poem a sonnet? Check whether this poem has a rhyme scheme or not. Answer. The poem is not a sonnet. There is no rhyming scheme. Note. Imagine a boy in your classroom by name Shashi is unable to answer even a single question. The teacher gets angry. In his anger, if the teacher says, Shashi, you are the Einstein of this class, does the teacher really mean what he says, or does he mean the opposite? Such expressions that say the opposite of what they really mean are examples of irony. Read the second stanza carefully. Do you find any expression of irony in it? The expression of irony in the poem is as follows. A man who feels a tree makes people watch, for glory seems to crowd upon the axe. Death lay his icy hands on kings. The tree raised his hands to pray. The above lines are instances of personification, where human qualities are attributed to inanimate object like death and tree. What is personified in the last stanza? Death is personified in the last stanza. So here are the additional question and answers of the axe in the wood. These are the question and answers apart from the textbook. If you want to give more question and answers for your children, you can refer these and can give these question and answers. These are the questions which are not mentioned in the textbook. These are the questions which are not there in the textbook. Apart from the textbook, the additional question and answers are there. If you want to give this notes as a notes to your children, you can give this. Next, I am going to read the summary. Before that, multiple choice questions are also there. You can give these also as a notes for your children. Now, the Axe in the Wood poem summary is there in English. I will read it for you. This poem is written by Clifford Henry Diamond. The poem is about the harmful effects of poaching and the indiscriminate cutting of trees. In this poem, Henry says that when once he was walking, he stopped to watch a man cutting a tree. The tree was very old and it seemed to be a century old. As he was cutting it, the sharp axe appeared to be glittering and it stuck deep inside the bark. And the yellow wooden chips, which usually comes when we chop any wooden material, flew in the air. The poet liked the sight. As the person was cutting the tree, a melodious song was heard as he struck the axe and paused as he took it off. The poet says that the people have many reasons to cut trees. It might fall as it was very old, but it had more good in it than a growing tree. Then Henry compares the death of the tree to the death of thousands of men. The poem conveys the message that the beauty of nature should be preserved and enjoyed. Thus, the poet condemns the onslaught of nature in an ironic way. So, this is all about your poem, The Axe in the Wood. As I have told you, if you want more lessons, kindly check the playlist of my channel. Thank you.